everybody, it's Eldon back here. I guess you could call this an episode of Crazy Dad's Garage. I just wanted to make this video as much for my kids as anything, and throw it up on my channel because I think that's the best place to have everybody look at it. So if you want to enjoy looking at it, great, and I hope you do. I'm going to do a walk around here of the place that I grew up on. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We'll be back and talk to you in a minute. Drove down here to southeastern Arizona from our home in Utah. Had an errand to do and decided to come down and stay at the old guest ranch where I grew up as a kid. It's kind of fitting we come back here and occasionally, very occasionally, like 2 or 3 times in the last 30 years, and we rent this tiniest apartment that they've got here because it's the least expensive, but this is where we first moved into when we got here. But anyway, this is a little place called Cave Creek Ranch at a tiny town called Portal, Arizona in the southeast corner of the state. But we moved here right after my 7th grade year in 1974, and came out here to what I was expecting to be a desert. I was thinking sand dune desert, and we got in here late in the middle of the night and pulled in, and we stayed in this building right here and couldn't see squat. But when I woke up in the morning and came out and looked around me, this is what I saw, and I was amazed and shocked. And I got to live here all the rest of the way through my school years, and after high school, even for a little bit. My parents stayed here till about 1998, and this was our home, and it's just an amazing, beautiful place to grow up. And I'm just going to walk around. So for the guys that watch Crazy Dad's Garage, right there is the original Crazy Dad's Garage. We lived in this house over here, and we were always needing a place to work on things, so my dad paid me and my friend and my brothers and people to build this shop for him. And I was on that thing from the foundation all the way through putting the roof on it, and laid most of the block with one of my buddies and put the framing up with another guy. And this is the scene of my first escapades as a car guy. So right there in that corner where that air conditioning unit sitting by the tree, that was my very first workshop. And I've got a picture of me leaning over the fender of a '66 Mustang, one of my first cars, working on the motor in it. I had got another picture of actually I was sitting in that same spot, a 54 F100 that I bought when I was about 21 years old. I've got pictures, let's see, a picture sitting right there of a 57 Ford 2-door Custom that I had, and another one sitting there of my high school car, 69 AMC Ambassador 4-door that I drove to high school all the time. Let's see, right there in front of the shop, one of the biggest things I ever worked on, or my first big projects, was a 70 Ford F100 that I pulled the motor out of and rebuilt. So all of my beginning escapades of being a car guy started here, and actually built myself a sand reel out there, and we got it fixed up and running, drove it for about a year, and because this is southern Arizona, I could get away without putting antifreeze in it for most of the year, but I forgot to catch up with it, and the block cracked, and so it never did run after that. But for probably 15 or 20 years it sat out here behind the shop, and finally when my parents moved, I cut it up, hauled it to the dump. But that was another one of my escapades, and this is the place where I grew up learning to love old cars. Not that anybody else around here did particularly, except for one of my friends, but it was where I got my experience in. This place was actually a guest ranch that catered to bird watchers and naturalists and stuff, so I had to be careful not to disturb them or we would run off our guests. But there were many nights. You can see on top of the house, the second story over there. You can see the two windows on the corner. Well, on the front corner of the house, right under that big tall tree right there, was my bedroom. And many nights we would climb out that window and crawl over the roof and skinny down the corner poles there and sneak out and take my dad's truck and go drive it somewhere up the canyon. And we had all kinds of escapades here. But this was an amazing place to grow up. We were exposed to a lot of culture here in the form of people who were highly educated, botanists, scientists, bird watchers, literally research professors of all kinds would come in here and spend months at a time living in our cottages and apartments and doing research projects. There was a young couple lived in that little house over there for a couple of years actually, and they were in charge of a research project up the canyon where they were studying lizards. And so it was always fascinating to go into their place because they would have these little clear plastic boxes with screen lids on them full of different kinds of lizards that they were studying, and then they'd go release them and things. But we spent hours out here doing different things. Oh yeah, I've actually got a picture of one of those Gazelle kit cars that I built sitting right out there in the middle of the circle. And so many other things that we did. Wow, this tree right here used to be not more than about 8 feet tall. It has grown to be massive now. That's amazing. But it's been 35 years roughly since I lived here. The last time my wife and I actually moved back in here at one point in time with our newborn son and lived with my parents for a while at this place and worked for them here. And it was actually a ton of fun. So I don't know, I may be making you dizzy here, but this is a special place to me, and it's one of those really beautiful places that God created, and I just thought I'd share it with you as I come back here. We were driving up the canyon to this place, and both Penny and I just, this overwhelming, warm feeling, this is home. This is home to us, even though we spent 30 years in Idaho and lived throughout Utah for the last several years. This place just sings to us. It's one of those amazing places. Anyway, if you do want to, if this sparks any interest in you, get online and Google Cave Creek Ranch in Portal, Arizona, Portal, and you'll find this place. He rents out these cabins and apartments to people, short-term and probably long-term basis too. But if you are looking for a truly unique place to come on a vacation, this is it. It will be an experience like none other you've ever had, and you can wander around the forest, you can explore those mountains. There's a great trail up to the top of that mountain to an old fire lookout station. There's another great trail up this mountain here where, I don't know if we can get to where you can see it. Yeah, we're moving around there. The sun will be in your eyes kind of here, but up to that mountain, there's a fantastic trail up there. The road goes up that canyon for 15 or 20 miles and then on over the mountains, and just all kinds. It's one of the most diverse bird populations in the world here, especially in the migratory seasons in May and early June and then on into, you know, the fall migratory season. I'm not even a bird watcher, but it is fascinating to me to come here and just watch the huge variety of birds. Everybody around has bird feeders and hummingbird feeders. There are hundreds of different kinds of hummingbirds. Not hundreds, that's not true. Hundreds of different hummingbirds. There's probably, I would say, 10 to 15 different species of hummingbird that come in and out of here in a year's time. So it's pretty amazing. Anyway, this is just some of the scenery here. I hope you enjoy it. As much as anything, I'm doing this for my kids, like I said, some of them spent a lot of time here as youth, visiting Grandma and Grandma and working on some of the projects that we did. And so it's always fun to come back and see. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and show you what's going on, where the birthplace of Crazy Dad's garage began many, many years ago, and just share a little bit of fun with you. So, hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's not a big car video, sorry about that, but I just thought I'd throw it on here because it's the best resource I've got for doing that kind of thing. So anyway, hope everybody has an awesome day. This is actually, FYI, this is the early part of February. And actually, I'm going to flip the camera around here as I wrap up the video, so I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, so this is the early part of February, and it's about 60 degrees out here right now in the middle of the morning. This is not, it could just as easily be snowing, 1.5 feet of snow on the ground today. The weather out here is that changeable and variable, but this is what I love about this part of Arizona, is you get all different kinds of weather like that, and it really is just a great place to come and get away. We are literally here. We are 60 miles from any sizable town at all, and that would be Douglas, Arizona, which I don't know, maybe has 10,000 people there. I've not done the research on that. There's Lordsburg, New Mexico is about the same distance away, and there's only a couple thousand people there. Safford, Arizona is 90 miles away. That's where we used to drive to go shopping all the time. And that's probably got 30,000 people live there now. So this is a very remote area, and if you like desert and you would like to see how beautiful the desert forest can be and the desert mountains, there is no place like this anywhere on the planet. And I've seen a lot of cool places. Anyway, just want to share that with you. Maybe some of you will actually decide you want to come out here on your next vacation. If you are one of my friends who enjoys the snowbird thing and you're headed through southern Arizona on I-10, this is just 30 miles south of I-10 when you first come into the state. It's worth it. It's worth every minute that you spend to get down here and come check this place out. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, my shameless plug for my old friend Reed Peters, who bought the place from us and has done some amazing things with it. It's just turned out to be a beautiful place, and he has really set an atmosphere here that anybody would come and enjoy if you like peace and nature. So there you go. This is Eldon signing off again from Portal, Arizona and Cave Creek Ranch, my old stomping grounds as a kid. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon on another project.